Evan, can you give us your take on how to transition from full-time job to full-time coach? Well, are you a part-time coach? Right? Are you making anything from coaching? Is it an aspiration? Have you, right? Like taking a real assessment of where you're at right now so you can make a better decision going forward. So you keep your full-time job, and ideally you have a job where you get to coach. It may not be coaching what you want to coach. I don't know what kind of coach you are or what you're doing, but the ability to, just like teaching, right? The ability to teach, whether you're teaching martial arts or you're teaching English, there's still the ability to teach that is real. And so I would look at, how do I start coaching in your current job? How can you make coaching more of a part of your current job? So you start getting the skills of coaching, because you can take courses and workshops and all sorts of stuff to level up, but the courses and workshops don't matter unless you're applying it, right? It's in the application where you start to actually learn and develop a skill. So I take all the theoretical knowledge that you've learned about coaching and start applying it, and look at doing it within your current job already to develop the skill sets. So you actually get great at coaching. Just coaching whatever skills you have. If you want to be a life coach and you know graphic design, great, start coaching graphic design at your current business. This is the starting point for it. Okay? Next, you start coaching inside the thing, so that when you have your job, it's not something that you just absolutely despise and it's just a paycheck. A job being just a paycheck sucks. You want to be making sure you're learning the skills that you need to get to the next spot, to level up, right? Okay, so now we're doing that. We're starting to coach a little bit at our place of work. Great. We don't hate it as much. We're still learning. We're getting better. Awesome. Next, we start coaching for free in our thing. So now we're not just coaching at work, but we're coaching in the thing that you actually want to coach for free. To start learning about how to be a coach in that space. To understand great coaching is about pattern recognition. It's about, you've seen that problem before, and there it's showing up again, and now it's showing up again, and you know how to handle it because you've been through it. That's why someone's going to hire you. It's because you have the pattern recognition that other people don't. Yes, it's intuition, and yes, it's listening, and yes, it's paying attention, but a lot of it is just flat out pattern recognition. You've seen it a million times before, and so you know how to address the situation. So how do you get the pattern recognition? Is to get the experience by doing the work. So the more you can start to practice being a coach, the better. Part-time, evenings and weekends, while you're still making money at your job for free. To the point where you're getting people who then message you to say, how do I hire you? Like a good coach, you're not done in one session, right? So you should be so good that they ask you, how can I have you come back? How can I hire you back? If you're doing free coaching and nobody asks you to come back or what your rates are or what the next step is, even without you pitching anything, if it's not happening, then you haven't solved the problem yet. You're not a good enough coach yet. And that's fine. Yet. The key word is yet. You get better at it. You practice. You keep improving. So now as you keep getting better and you keep learning and you keep applying what you've learned, you start getting more practice. You start getting better. Now some of the people who you've been coaching for free say, hey, can I hire you? I want to work with you. I want to keep upping my skills. I want to keep getting better. Now you're starting to make a little bit of money. So now you're doing some free ones and you're doing some paid ones, and slowly transition from the free ones into the paid ones, more and more and more. Then you start increasing your prices. Right? Now it's whatever it was an hour, you just keep adding 30% to the next client, 30% to the next client, 30% to the next client, until you start hitting the threshold where people won't pay. And then when you can get to the point where your part-time coaching gig makes you enough money to survive, not rich, not buying the Lambo, not even making as much as you do at your current job, but enough to survive and pay the bills and know that you don't have to go back and go work for somebody else, then you can quit your job and go full-time on your business. That's the process. That's the whole process, from where you're at to where you want to be. And that may take you 3 months, that may take you 6 months, it may take you 12 months. It really just depends on how much are you putting in the reps, right? So every step is really important, Hardy. If you start coaching at your work, you'll get better as a coach faster. If you don't ask for coaching opportunities and you're just going and collecting a paycheck, you're not going to get to being a good coach faster. If you start doing free sessions and you're doing one a month, you just don't get good at something if you're practicing it once a month. If you're doing it once a day in the evenings, right, you'll just get better faster. So some of it will be how quickly you pick up, but most of it's going to be just, are you putting in the raw effort? Are you just doing the work? And for too many people, it just takes them a really long time. So it's up to you. It's not judgment. It's just, what do you want it to be? How long do you want it to take? Obviously, we want it to be, as soon as possible, but are you willing to put in the work to get there? Do you want this to be a 3-month thing? Or if it takes you a year, it's a little slower, but it's not as time intensive, you're good with that. You might be.